Good morning, YouTube family. This is Iris. Today is Wednesday, pardon my shadow, May 26th. And one of them passed away, one of my azaleas. I also lost one of my butterfly bushes. I believe my granddogs are the culprit because they were fine and now they're not fine. So I think those potty visits are, well, I can't get mad because look at these Miss Kim lilacs. What? Never even thought about that plant before. The garden gardenista told us about the clearance plants at the Big Blue Box store, aka Lowe's. Also, the gardenista and the garden attic both shout out for the thank you for, again, pardon the shadow, it's early morning, but a shout out for turning us on to drip irrigation, because I used to spend 45 minutes in the morning to water these plants. Now, if you've watched any of my previous videos, you know that I had just a little pressure to present a beautiful garden, because we are celebrating our son's graduation in the yard. A beautiful, intimate dinner. Part of the advantage of having bird feeders is that they keep the insect population in check, but they also leave droplings, so have to monitor that. But coming around the water feature to everyone is waking up so nicely. But the drip irrigation, my word, I tell you, I am so excited that I don't have to hose down the entire bed first thing before I go to work. So this is the Wine and Roses Rigelia. She's coming into bloom. It is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. The portion we just walked through, some alliums are finishing their beautiful bloom. I don't know if the camera does it justice, but watch that stuff. They are quite lovely and they multiply themselves, so I can't wait to see what next year holds. The ground level garden bed on the other side of the walkway hasn't quite, we haven't covered that with the brown mulch, so you can see where the drip irrigation is and how it lets out. If I were to describe drip irrigation, I would say that it's one step above a soaker hose and one step below in-ground watering system. So an example of why it would be one below, because the in-ground watering system is below your turf or your surface, whereas the drip irrigation is above. So you do have to cover it if you don't want that hose exposed. I also would like to cover it so that the additional mulch can hold in the moisture and not have it evaporate as easily. But remember those dahlias that I told you guys about, how the snow was coming, and I think I planted 13 and I retained 4, but nature is kind and sending off their babies anyway. I don't know if you can see it, but she has some below and a branch above. And then coming around the patio to just cut back some of the daffodils. And as you can see, these guys are fully flushing out. But there's another dahlia over here. So, I don't know, can you see her right over there? And this promises to be a really full space for the summer. Coming around the umbrella, there's some nice petunias, some lavender. And then this bed right here, we just developed because I was trying to make it easier on the lawnmower. My son has offered to do that now that he's done with school. So I don't know if you remember what that looked like before, but this is what it looks like now. And this is where we had our family dinner for graduation. It was really nice because we were able to just sit here and reminisce about all the going back and forth to NYIT so we could drop him off for dorm living. And then I cut fresh flowers in the morning, so whatever's in bloom that I could make a mini arrangement. I just finished off with the tulips, so now we have just a little allium and iris on the table now, the fire pit now. And then back over to our edible garden where the lettuce was my biggest desire. So I have different stages of lettuce so we can yield from them, harvest from them at different times. I did learn a lot about starting seedlings in the house and what is too early. And then I just finished putting some seedlings back and putting them in the bed because they were still in their starter plant cups. So we will see. We're endeavoring to build a trellis for the vining plants, pardon me, like the cucumber and the tomatoes. Look at the carrots, they're really coming in good. I just put a bit of soil into the potatoes as well as another batch of tomatoes, the blueberry bush as well as the goji berries. They're really growing versus not. And I don't know if that stick in the back there is gonna become, but nature has taught me to just sit still and wait. The exfoliate of the fruit trees is coming along nicely. My husband and son are finishing those off. And then we'll walk around front just for a brief garden walkthrough with that's that, what was that, winter sowing sunflower. We have an astilbe growing up with some perennials. Our rain barrel has some hostas in it, and those irises are finishing up this side of the landscape. And then more alliums. Look at these dahlias, and they were direct sown. We'll see if the shade is too much, if they'll bloom. Here's that black lace elderberry and some beautiful dark purple burgundy tulips that are late bloomers, so we get to enjoy them a little longer. So this weekend is my mother's surprise birthday party, and then we'll be hosting that in the yard just to keep everyone nice and safe with social distancing. But I think I want to put some, I think it's crocus up here. No, not crocus. I have to think of the name of it. Not crocus, because crocus are early spring plants, but I'll think of the name of it. And then the shaded plants, just beautiful. Just all those summers that this was just barren, it makes me pause. But I mean, really just beautiful. And then coming around, we have the painted fern. I don't know if that came up. And this is one of our newer perennials. I think I did not leave the stick. I'll get that name for you guys. And then this is what our back doorway ambiance looks like. This year we did the dark elephant ears as well as the mammoth elephant ears from last year. Look at that beautiful, beautiful leaf. It's just gorgeous. I think I'll end here. But this is the ambiance of a May birthday party. Just trying to make it neat. I can't make everything grow in full, but just trying to make it neat. So thank you for joining me on this gardening in Zone 6A brief walkthrough. Perhaps the next one will stick with one section of the garden and the pros and cons or challenges of each sub garden, because that's how I break my chores up into the sections of the garden. Have a wonderful day, guys. It's really been the most therapeutically, if that's a word, most therapeutic hobby I've ever ventured on. I hope you are enjoying your outdoor living space and your gardening as well. Enjoy. Bye.